What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going out. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. Y'all see it right here. So this is Tim Walz getting greeted New York. You see many flags, big flags, Trump, Vance, and you see the Harris Walz bus, coming through. And you have, I wanted to show y'all this too, right?
Even
here.
Last week.
Check out what it said.
Even last week, I was in New York at a fundraiser that Tim Walz was doing at an apartment there, and he said, after I left the room, I heard he said to someone who asked, how's debate prep going? He said, look, I was trained as a teacher. As a teacher, we're trained to answer the questions. We tell our students to answer the questions. That's not what this is. So Walz really trying to fit himself into this somewhat awkward always thing of a nationally.
So that just goes to show you on how childish he can be. I mean, just that answer and how he's prepping. So when you're on that stage, and it, how I look at it, and I'm gonna be real, it's a win for us. Basically, it's a win for us because he's not answering those questions. He's not answering. I mean, when you have somebody, just imagine it. It's a question being asked. JD Vance answers. Then Tim Walz. And it's nothing. I can't even say that because it's nothing new. I can't even say that. It's nothing new, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised just based off the fact all the interviews, I can't even say answering the reporters, talking to the reporters. Everything is all beat around the bush. But they even talk to each other. The interview that Tim Walz and Kamala had, it's all lies. It's the fakeness. It's beating around the bush. It's stuff like that. So I ain't even gonna go there as far as that. I mean, it's literally crazy.
So Jason, is Tim Walz a moron?
Well, two things can be true at the same time here. Again, the Tim Walz that we see on the campaign trail as he's bouncing around and dancing and pointing to Kamala Harris and looking kind of goofy is not the Tim Walz that shows up in debates. And Casey, I will tell you, I've watched more debate footage of Tim Walz than anyone should ever be forced to do. But here's the thing. He's been in office for 2 decades. JD Vance has been in official office for 2 years, but Tim Walz has been in office for 2 decades. He's good. He was in Congress. He's in his second term as governor of the.
And I'm not even gonna say, even though he's been in office 2 decades, it matters, but it until it doesn't. And I say that because a lot of it has to do with a lot of common sense, and he ought to have it. You talking about 2 decades. Then you have JD Vance. He's saying 2 years. I'm pretty sure he just said 2 years, right? And I feel like JD Vance. I thought he's always been in in the politics and talking about this. Listen, when I tell y'all something, I'm gonna be real as it can get. Tim Walz, he going to this debate. I see it going downhill. I know for a fact, me personally, and I said this before, and I'm kind of iffy on it, but I think it's gonna be worse than the Trump versus the Joe Biden, the Trump versus Kamala. I think it's going to be that bad. Just by him saying that he's nervous and the nerves, I can't wait.
State of Minnesota. When he shows up and hits that stage, he's disciplined, he's on point, and he lies through his teeth. And that's the thing that most people who are tuning in tonight, or many of the people, I should say, will not have watched Tim Walz bouncing around on the campaign stage. What they will see is tonight they'll see Tim Walz for the first time. And he will come across with very much an aw shucks Minnesota persona. But what he's going to have an issue is how does he defend his record? How does he defend Kamala Harris's record?
Man, I'm going to tell y'all one thing. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, that aren't paying too much attention to what's going on right now. They're just looking at the fact, Trump, we know who Trump is a little bit because back then, but then it's other people that's looking at Kamala. Those same people like, she's, she calling herself black, this, that, and that. So a lot of people not paying attention to it. And it's a lot of people that woke up. Don't get me wrong. That y'all know what I mean. Because when I say woke, it's different. But how I look at the fact is that too many people aren't paying attention on what's going on. But tonight, I feel like they'll pay more attention, especially with Tim Walz. With Tim Walz and JD Vance. And when they hear about the whole bathroom situation, y'all know I'm talking about the tampon, that stuff. They hear that, they literally gonna be like, huh? They gonna get to looking it up like, oh, he really did this. I feel like that's gonna throw a lot of people off too. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that hadn't paid attention to that. Just like the stolen valor, that thing, everything that's gonna come out, and be said is gonna be new to a lot of other people. And I feel like this debate definitely is gonna put a big impact on some stuff. Tim Walz says here, this is by Casey. Click on this here. Tim Walz is fighting nerves. This is from CNN. If he can't handle just the political debate, then he can't handle being VP, and that's being real. This is said by somebody named Casey. That's just being real. CNN says Tim Walz is telling people he's just nervous about facing JD Vance as he was the Sunday afternoon in August when he warned Kamala Harris in his running mate interview that he was a bad debater. Maybe more nervous, according to the multiple people he's spoken with. Me personally, if this is getting out that he's nervous, more and more of the things that I've been seeing, I just know that this isn't going to be good for him. He shows up at the debate. That's just being real with y'all. Check it out here. This is what I love, though. I can say that I actually love stuff like this. You literally have, Trump Vance supporters, Harris Walz supporters that are not screaming in each other's face, even though they're chanting, Trump or chanting Harris. This is something that I really appreciate, even though that a lot of these people can be, and Harris and Walz that aren't thinking in the correct way. I still think it is nice, to see. And although they're not, I can't say so much of coming together and realize, but it's more so of being peaceful, more so of a peaceful protest. I've seen some really bad, protests with, I done seen some bad. Since I didn't react, I done seen some bad stuff. From what I was, some bad. That was like the first time I think I've watched a video of a Trump rally. It was last year. And I seen how bad. I'm telling y'all, it was horrible. Horrible. But y'all see here, says, if Tim Walz end up, showing up, him not being nervous. Debate is at 9 p.m. tonight on CBS News. Probably be streaming from Fox. I will be live, so make sure y'all stay tuned. Definitely appreciate y'all much. Let everybody stay tuned for the next videos, y'all. Catch y'all next one.